Here's the thing with this. So this is at the Apex. So it's a UFC controlled content. You have Forrest Griffin there. You have Jake Shields is there as well. So this is all orchestrated. This is all designed. It's just weird to me. I don't know the Sneako kid. I know he's talking shit about Mikey. That's our boy. It's weird to have a guy who was a former world champion just kind of tee off on him. Even though he asked for it, ignorance is bliss. The kid's an idiot, clearly, if you're going to get beat up by Sean Strickland. It's just something weird about it. It's all orchestrated by the UFC. It's just a weird route they're going, you know? Like, all this had to be... Like, Sneako had to get okay from the UFC, from Dana White. They had to call Sean Strickland. Like, this wasn't like it wasn't like he showed up at Sean Strickland's gym in Orange County. The UFC had to okay this. I'm sure he had to sign some, waivers. It just, I don't know. It feels weird to me.
Nina reacted to Schaub's comments, tweeting, "Here's the thing about Brendan Schaub. I love the guy. But this take has to be more stupid than Sneako agreeing to spar Sean Strickland. LOL. Brendan, do you really think Dana White and the UFC would risk it all for Sneako and Strickland? I have the answer. It's hell no. Laughing my ass off." Schaub replied, "Listen, here's the thing about Nina Marie. Love the girl, but she's new. How long are we going to pretend the UFC has morals and this is such a reach? Maria, you attend every Power Slap event for starters, which was created by the ownership of the UFC. Legit MMA journalists are banned for not giving cupcake questions from UFC events. Don't even get me started on fighter pay. Assuming UFC is open to a YouTuber getting his ass whooped is far from a bad take. A lawsuit doesn't scare the UFC. Please look into the current lawsuit from over 100 plus former fighters. I can go on how this is far from a reach. Still love ya." Nina responded by posting, "When did the world become so fucking soft? They used to let kids box in high school. They used to raise men. Why did you stop it? That was the most badass thing Sneako has ever said. So he got hit in the head. Big fucking deal, you pussy. But again, we've all seen you fight, so laughing my ass off." He followed up with, "Laughing my ass off. They act like I murdered a man. So a man wanted to fight and got beat up. So what? That's how you become a man. Don't belittle him. He took his ass beating like a man and will be better for it. Good job. I was impressed."
Fair enough.
Don't give a fuck.
Sean Strickland. Nasty looking guy. Look at those ears. You look at those ears. Oh. I looked at him. I said, I want no part of him.
Come on, you bitch. You scared coward. You got man enough to fuck with me. You can't last 2 minutes in my world, bitch. Look at you scared now, you hoe. Scared like a little white pussy. Scared of the real man. Maybe this guy is. What a loser. What a dweeb.
Goes on in this show by
Orchestrated. That's crazy. I never heard of that. Yeah, I totally believe this, guys. He is a reliable source. Obviously, this Mongoloid is completely a simpleton. I mean, this guy's Simple Jack. Have you guys ever seen Tropic Thunder? That is the real Brendan Schaub's brain cells. Because obviously his brain does not work at full capacity. The man has so much CTE. At the end of the day, he let a little ghoulie tell him, "Hey, you suck at fighting." And then he said, "Hey, by the way, you suck at comedy. You're not good enough to perform my shitty comedy show. By the way, you have to stay in California. You're not good enough to live in Texas. By the way, I don't really like you. You're big, you're dumb, and at the end of the day, you're a joke of a human being." This man's 42 years old, and obviously he's saltier than a bag of shite. But guess what, people? He never liked Uncle Fester. Him and Uncle Fester both have fondue Honda Halsey. Yeah, they're Eskimo brothers. That's weird, by the way. And obviously, this man's always salty because at one point in time, this guy had $1 million in sponsorships. But then the wonderful Reebok deal happened, and they said, "Guess what, Brendan Dum Dum? You can't have those sponsorship no more." So he got angry. And guess what? The UFC used to support his piece of shite, the fighter, and that disgusting human being. If you actually know the truth about that piece of human amphibious shite, that disgusting old man who's a creeper, and obviously He's a Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, he's one of those guys. A true scumbag. So don't ever try to say high and mighty, dude. The people you hang around with are pieces of human amphibious shit and belong in prison, buddy. I'm not even going to mention their names, but you know who they are. And people know what I'm talking about. So when this guy wants to say the high and mighty road, don't ever act high and mighty, okay? And guess what? The UFC has made the people a lot of money. The only one to blame for people having bad contracts is their managers. At the end of the day, guess what? If your manager was not going to get you good money, blame your manager. Because obviously, you didn't have to fight. You could have got 9 to 5. You could have went to college. You could have went to trade. You could have went to the military. So don't get salty because you didn't make good money. That's how it works, people. Guess what? There's many mixed martial arts organizations, and they all go out of business. Nina is obviously a plant and a leech. The woman is a softcore corn store who did Playboy, okay? And obviously she uses her assets for the simps and the pathetic estrogen men and her trashy contact where she uses her sex innuendos. And guess what? Her and Strickland, allegedly they fondue. I don't give a flying fuck. And Sean Strickland's right, dude. Guess what? Mr. YouTube Pussy wanted some man. Testosterone, and he got some. He got his ass whooped. Congratulations, people. He got a bloody nose. He got some CTE. Jake Shields invited him to the PI Center. Forrest Griffin works at the PI Center, so do your research, Mongoloid. But obviously, you don't know how to use a computer because you don't even understand how Reddit works. Because obviously, your brain's so completely dumb. Just a complete Mongoloid. So that's where Brendan Schaub is. So, it wasn't orchestrated. Guess what? The dude does this thing called Rumble, and obviously he's a streamer, and guess what? He wanted the clicks and views, and he got a couple notches on the head. At the end of the day, Nina's a leech, Brendan's a Mongoloid, the UFC's gonna keep on rolling, and guess what? Welcome to YouTube, bitch, I'm out.